What's up, guys? StudFit here. I'm joined by Antlev and also Sammy D. Welcome to the both of you guys. How you guys doing?
What's up? Good.
So this is a special segment. We've done this 3 or 4 times called inventory inspection. So typically what we like to do, and we've done it with Draco and B-Rad and some others, but basically we've taken their spreadsheet that they filled out and provided some high level as well as also some deep level, high level mostly from me and the deep level from Antlev into someone's inventory. And Sammy D from Kart Life, if you are not currently subscribed to Sammy D, you must be under a rock or have never been on YouTube before and somehow you stumbled across this video. But if you haven't already, please subscribe to Kart Life, Kart, that's K-A-R-T-L-I-F-E on YouTube. Welcome, Sammy D. How are you doing, man?
Thanks, man. I'm good. Thanks for doing this. This is a perk for one of your membership tiers. And I don't believe I'm on that membership tier, but since we're longtime content creator friends and it was my birthday, I specifically requested for my birthday, I would love an inventory inspection. So we just now got around to scheduling it. Thank you both for carving out the time. You got your new job. We all our families in work. So thank you. This is just to do this just for fun is just so awesome. And hopefully it brings some attention to this perk that you're offering for folks.
Yeah, typically we offer it as a reward for those member multiplayer Mondays and other things going on in our server. So if you'd like to become a member and receive this type of service, we like to do this. This is something fun for Antlev and I appreciate you reaching out, Sammy. So when you hear people say spreadsheets, trackers, really what they're referring to are different variations of what you see on the screen. So I know we blew it up as much as we could, but there's a lot of information on here. This can seem very overwhelming. So we have a couple different tutorial videos. I've done a few in the past. We've even seen some, such as Matt Aldridge and Draco655 do some as well. So we'll do a high-level intro just to let you kind of know what's going on, but we'll include links to a deeper dive to let you kind of know what's going on. But there are different variations of this. So this is the Antlev variation. There is the Bam and Gerbs, the Rock and Block, Riken Blocks. We have the MKD Bend Fork. There's a variety of variations, different flavors, but really they're all trying to do one thing, which is help you become a little bit more strategicized with your account. So allowing you to be able to take a look at a deeper level as to what tracks items have. If you were to take it up certain levels, how would that impact your account? So just as a high level, just looking at this screen, there is a level with the parentheses base on, I think that's row 5. And this is where you go in and look at your account and scroll and put in level 5, level 6, level 7 for every single item. Now there is a driver tab, a cart tab, and a glider tab. But we're right now, as you can see, on just the drivers, but you would go through literally in the order of which you see them on the screen. From right to left is how you would see it from top to bottom on your screen. Then right below that, you would see point, cap. So these are all 1 cap ticket, or 1 cap usage to take it single capped would be 1. Another 5 tickets to make it double capped would be 2. Triple capped would be 3. Quad capped would be 4. So in the game right now, we are currently recording this in the Ninja Tour, which is at the very end of March 2023. So all this may change in a month or two. So it's definitely a snapshot of what's going on right now in Sammy D's account. We'll walk you through, we're actually going to walk you through how to add these in there. We'd highly recommend you taking a look into the description, but we're going to go ahead and jump into it. Sammy's already filled it out. Sammy's already pretty well aware of where his account lies, but I always like to and I think when you're looking at just making a quick and dirty decision, one of the things I always like to look at first is the tier list. So that is a tab on the very bottom. That's where we'll start out today. And I've taken some notes just on some topics here's some things that I like to look out for when I'm looking at anyone's tier list to begin with. First of all, you see here on the left, this is your rank, and we'll get into that. That's kind of based off of your raw score. You have the name of the item, you have a type. So we have me's, we have high ends, we have supers, we have normals. You have whether it's owned or not, and you have its current level. So this would be level 7, level 8, etc. And you have the current points cap. So this would be triple capped, quad capped. And then there's a higher level overlap. So you actually want a lower number, and that's why those numbers are in green. Again, if something is like, for instance, in this case, Sammy D has 2 items level 8, so there's nothing going to be higher level than the gold Mii suit. So that's obviously going to be a bright green. The number is 0. But you can see a couple of these items already standing out as items that it would be very difficult to have a better item that you'd use based on just the level overlap. Then you have non-city map overlap for all Coinbox drivers, assuming that they're level 6, and this is level 6. And then the one column I is the number of non-city maps without owned Coinbox overlap, which you can right off the bat see. I'll bring up here. White Tanuki Mario has 13 non-city maps without Coinbox. That obviously is an outlier there. And then you have non-city map overlap with as a percentage. And then you have the raw score and then a tier list. So we'll start out today. One of the first things I like to look at just when it comes to items, first off, we have gold Mii suit at level 8, quad capped, a very smart meta level decision. Then we have a couple of different items, all level 7, triple uncapped. And that's, I would say that just from looking at this, Sammy, your consistency is key, man. You kind of follow some principles. Things such as, level 7, a lot of the Coinbox drivers are, triple uncapped. You deviate a little bit, but those are pretty.
Hey man, watch the rundown for 2 years straight, and you'll get a good account with that site.
And then level 6, a lot of them are double capped, and it's very rare for them, for a level 6 to be triple uncapped, or for something else to be triple uncapped at a lower level. So it actually makes a lot of these decisions easier when you're looking at these accounts. So one of the first things I wanted to ask Antlev about before we get too far into it is talk to us about the Miis. So you'll notice that the Mii type is there in blue. How do we look at Miis using these trackers?
Right. So going back over to the drivers tab. You see here you've got the level and the number of uncaps, and you can compare. You see here in this column E the best level item you have on that track. But what the really great thing about the tracker is it allows you to sort of compare 2 items that are not the same level, but that may be close in their scoring potential, even though that they're like a different level. So what it does is it actually used the in-game scoring points formula with an assumed number of actions, and I think the starting number of actions is set to 175 per track in the sheet, but you can change that yourself, and then it will calculate a potential score based on the level and uncap and level and base points of the item, and then for drivers it also adds some additional actions for the skill. And so in that sense, it will include the base points of the Mii. So, you put your Miis in the sheet, and if you go all the way over here to the right, you see Sammy's got every single Mii in the game, and it tallies. So he's got 44 Mii suits, so it's going to add 44 minus 1 times 10, 430 base points to every Mii driver for purposes of calculation, and what you end up then with is a sort of, it's called adjusted score. You can see that here, level adjusted. Yeah, sorry, these are all. I can just do this. No other way. Whoa. Yeah, I can just do so, and what that basically does is it takes all the potential combinations of level and base points, and in the case of driver skill, and it ranks them from 1 to, well, in the gliders and Kart's case, it only goes up to 120, but because we have so many different combinations due to all the different skills with drivers, it goes up to like 600 or something. So I divide the number by 6, so that's why you see these decimals here, just so it makes it a little bit easier to compare things here. And then this score is basically like, your highest score there is going to be your best driver, kart or glider on the track.
So like, in other words, if you have a level 6 6 like high end or level 6 super that's like quad, then the point would be better, even though it still says 6. You look at that higher point.
Exactly. Let me see if I can find a good example somewhere here of like 2 items that are like relatively close, but not exactly.
Karts, you see it a lot because of all like the super cars that we have quad capped.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll take an example for the carts because I know those off the top of my head. What's kind of good and not good. Do I have this on a filter? Yeah, I have this on a filter. So you see here when you've got a cart that's level 8 and quad capped, it gets a score of 112. So level 8 with 492 base points. And if you compare that to, for example, an item which is level 7, a high end, which is level 7 and double capped, so level 7, 595 base points, the scoring points formula gives that a 113. So that means level 7 double capped high end is slightly better than level 8 quad capped super, but they're very close, you know? So if you have already a level 8 quad capped cart on that track and you're looking to take a cart up to level 7 and double cap it, you may not see that as, you know, your additional benefit there is not that huge. You're not going to score a lot more points by doing that. And so that system allows you to kind of compare between, you know, different cap levels, different item levels, and also with the drivers, especially the skills, which is like super tricky. You know, so what we're mainly trying to do here is go through the inventory, look where your weak points are, look where you see on here, you've got on this column here, you've got a bunch of 117s that's level 7 triple capped. You've got a 108 that's level 6 double capped, I think. And then you've got stuff here like 7 that's level 1 with no uncaps. 22, I think that's level 2 with no uncaps. You know, so you're looking, hey, what items are going to cover these weak ones for me, and how am I gonna fix those? What can I upgrade that's gonna help me fill these holes? And then you also want to look at, hey, I've got a bunch of different level 5 items, level 6 items, level 7 items. Which one of those, by leveling them up once, is going to give me the kind of most value for my tickets invested? You know, what's going to give me the most? I mean, maybe you have gold glider at level 7 double capped. I mean, I do. I think a lot of older players do. Does it make sense to triple cap such a glider at this point? No, of course not, because it doesn't have that many tracks, and it's not, you know, as good as what it used to be. So it kind of will help you give an idea of like what are the best items to continue to further invest in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's a lot of things you can do. You can play around with different options along the top, but Ainslev and I have already done some prep, and so hopefully we'll kind of take some of the guesswork out. But we'll also want to get Sammy's feedback throughout. So going back to the tier list, appreciate you answering that question. So drivers are always unique. We got the Miis, we got coin boxes, and we kind of have changed a lot of that information. Carts are much more straightforward comparatively, and as well as gliders. So one of the things I like to look at is, you know, when I'm looking at this list, I like to look at the current level and see if there's, because everything's ranked based off this raw score. So one of the things I like to look at is which items are maybe level 6, but really high. In fact, maybe they might even be higher on this raw score than a 7 or an 8 level, or, you know, when it comes to double capping and triple capping. So some of those obviously that stick out are the fact that you have the bronze and the silver Mii at level 6 double uncap. So Sammy, what's kind of been your strategy with the Miis? Obviously you've been kind of leaning in on these metallic ones.
Yeah, I mean, my Mii strategy's been like, I've been like 1 foot in, 1 foot out this whole time, like trying to work it so that no matter what happens with it, with the cap or like whatever, that I can take advantage. Like definitely gold suit was a priority. I wanted to get that day 1. Got it day 1. I actually spotted the bronze Mii suit really fast. That was one of the more impulsive things I've ever done. It hasn't totally paid out just in terms of like ranked, because this just hasn't. I don't even know if I've used it in ranked. And silver, yeah, I love the look of them. So I'm not the kind of, to me, I see a lot of my like, let's just say whale friends who, you know, they can take a, you know, pokey Mii racing suit to the 7 or 8, and I don't have those kind of resources. I'm still kind of spreading resources to like normal coin box drivers, even normal Lucky 7 drivers like Blue Shot Guy Explorer, and I'm really putting all my eggs in those metallic suit baskets, particularly the gold Mii suit, because I'm kind of fine if like if I only have the gold Mii suit and silver Mii suit as like my main Mii advantages, that's still kind of fine to me. I don't want to eliminate all the other drivers. I don't want my, my normal drivers to be obsolete. I'm not quite there. Maybe in 6 months I will be like, yeah, I'm never using a regular driver ever again. But I'm still kind of in the middle there. So I want to, maximize the best ones. So gold suit. I'm kind of the inverse of Antelope, where I haven't done the question block suit. So, and that was purely because my general thing is I try to get top 1,000 without having to do anything really. And then I focus on ranked, because ranked, especially when there were 40 rubies at stake, I really got the drive every week to compete. And blockhead just was never needed in ranked. So I just did need to do it. So I haven't done that one yet. And then all the ones like, PD me and King Boo me and all the ones everyone's always telling me, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. I'm kind of like, okay, maybe I'll see. But if I start doing that with all the me's, then I have no tickets left. So
you don't have to do anything, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm really moving into a place, and this is like big picture, and it's kind of like the place I'm in my life and the state of the game. And I'm really getting into just doing things I love doing. Yeah. Because I've really done a good job, like meta wise, for like 3 years. And like I can have some fun at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, and then what's cool about this sheet is you can do a lot with it, right? So people play this game differently. Some people play for all cup ranking. Some players use it for ranked. And I think that in general, yes, you do want to have tracks covered, but you don't want to, not all tracks are equal. So like some of those that Antelope were pointing out, such as Baby Park. We those would, I feel like, would come back again before some of these older tracks. But again, here we are seeing Waluigi Pinball and Daisy Hills this tour. So you never know. The thing is that as older tracks are introduced, oftentimes they do add newer items to those old tracks, and you have supers on those old tracks too. So there's a lot of options. So let's get into kind of just high level. This is what I see right off the bat. I typically look to see which level 6 items might be really high up this list. So I see things obviously at those 2 Miis, but you also see White Tanuki Mario and also Daisy Tie Dress. So those are 2 high level 6s. So in fact, I know you have Mario Hakama, someone that you really love in the game, kind of going back to what brings you joy. You took him to level 8 quad capped, and technically on this spreadsheet, you have both of these level 6 drivers, both Daisy Tie Dress and White Tanuki Mario, are more valuable in a raw score perspective to your account than Hakama would be. I know right there off the bat, you saw, we kind of mentioned it earlier, number of non-city maps without Coinbox. White Tanuki Mario has 13. So right off the bat, he does have an advantage with those tracks. Now here's the thing, just like Giant Banana, just like Donkey Kong Jr. SNES last year, just like a lot of Lucky 7 drivers, it's only a matter of time before future Coinbox drivers are added to those tracks, and now no longer White Tanuki Mario is as good as he might have been. Now it's way more fun in a lot of cases, but that may not be the case. So right off the bat, Daisy Tie Dress, White Tanuki Mario seem to be ones I would want to ask Antelope, is this intuition the right move? And then I had 3 others that I kind of have my eye on based on the same stat, specifically Rosalina Volendam, Peach Vacation, and Yoshi Kangaroo. Now I know Peach Vacation past her prime, but she's on this list. In fact, she's higher than Yoshi Kangaroo at number 16. So those are kind of the ones that I feel like worth bringing up and kind of tossing out there for Antelope to answer. And then there's also, I also like to look at which lower level. Again, this is less impactful because you can't really take the tickets back. But which items may not have been as useful, and oftentimes it can help pick up on trends on where your account is. So some good examples kind of started out like in the top 50. Ice Mario, Black Yoshi. These were you probably pulled a lot of Ice Mario over the years.
I never invested in
invested. But had you invested in Black Yoshi, or had you pulled them all?
I think I pulled them all.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, maybe I took him from like 1 to 3 in the first ranked he was ever in or something, but
yeah. So moving up the list, you have Nabbit at 23, Pink Peach at 22, Shy Guy Ninja at 21. All those are probably very similar to some other accounts, but I also know, King Bob-omb Gold and Dry Bones Gold, both of those, level 7 drivers, Coinbox drivers that are outside of, or at the very top of your top 20. One thing I think is interesting is that Bowser Santa. So, you triple uncapped him. He's number 8 on your list. he's got some unique coverage in that he's got some exclusives, but he's also, for a triple uncapped coin box, he's one of the lower ones for you. So just was curious, for Antelope to kind of say, mainly his tracks are pretty old. And then I also kind of wanted to point out, we noticed that some of the newer drivers, they seem to be just getting, really newer items in general, seem to be just like breaking through what were past ceilings. So, Bowser Santa may not have as many tracks as someone who just came out like 6 months ago. And it's interesting how the game has kind of evolved to that point, just in newer items getting these buffs. So that's kind of where I wanted to start. And Antelope, so between those ones I mentioned, between Daisy Tidress, White Tanuki Mario, Rosie and Volendam, Peach Vacation, Yoshi, even Yoshi Kangaroo. Any of those worth investing in, and kind of how are you analyzing this when you take into consideration what I was talking about earlier with ranked versus ACR versus valuable tracks, etc.?
Yeah, so one thing I want to mention, which isn't really anything, so a main weakness of the tracker is that it basically gives an equal weight to all tracks. It will see coverage on Daisy Hills or Shy Guy Bazaar the same as it will on Dry Ruins or Snowland, or a new track which is harder to cover, doesn't have as many plus skill top shelves, is way more paywalled, and so that's something you kind of have to work around. And a lot of the drivers you mentioned that are at a high level, level 7 double capped, level 6 double capped, a lot of them are like pretty old drivers. You're talking about Dry Bones Gold, Yoshi Kangaroo, Gold King Bob-omb, all I think 2021, 2020, or even older drivers. Some of them, Pink Gold Peach, one of the older drivers. And they've had their kind of day, but we're also, especially if you're the type of person who is not like a pure ACR player, if you focus on ranked, it's going to be a safer bet to always invest in newer items, because there's a bigger chance they're going to get buffed on new tracks that come out. And like you said, Nintendo's showing the new items the love. I mean, that is their business model, right? They want you to keep getting your wallet out, to spend money to keep acquiring items, and the way they do that is by gating these new tracks behind paywalled stuff and new items. So in general, I'm not a big fan of investing in very old items unless they give you a lot. Now, I don't really use the tier list that much, but one thing what I do look at is if there is a low level item which is like unnaturally high up the list. So the first thing I would look at is, like, you've got down here some like level 6 items, level 5, level 7 high ends. You've got a level 4 here, Pink Shy Guy Ninja. You've got another level 4 here, Toad Astronaut, and you got another level 4 here, PD Piranha Me Racing Suit. So I would immediately be like, hey, and the Question Block Me Racing Suit at level 3 here as well. I was like, these are pretty high up the list for being such a low level. And then I would go and look at, hey, what coverage do you get from upgrading those? Hey, if I took this to level 6, how many tracks would it give me an upgrade on? And also, like, what tracks, because it's not just a question of how many. I think Sammy mentioned earlier the Bronze Me Racing Suit. The Bronze Me Racing Suit is a really interesting example because it has a very good amount of tracks for a plus skill Me suit. But it has a lot of really old tracks. It's got like the Yoshi circuits and stuff, which are like really good.
That's why I did it, because I didn't have anything high on those Yoshi circuits.
Yeah, but which is really good if you go for ACR or they happen to come back and rank, because like Bronze Me Racing Suit is basically going to be better than anything else in the game at a high level, right? Except for the coin box Mii's, and even that's debatable. Boomerang is I know it's controversial, boomboxing, but the scoring potential is as high. But I mean, that's also why you haven't seen it in rank. It's not getting the sort of newer. It doesn't tend to get the new tracks, and that makes sense because it was the first gift from doing the new tier challenges or whatever they were, or the new challenges after the Mii challenge. Yeah, exactly. So most people have it, so it wasn't that hard. Whereas, silver was a bit harder to get, and then gold is like really hard to get. You have to get to tier 80, so that's why gold is obviously, way better. They want to make these things look more exclusive. So yeah, I mean, I'd look at those. I'd look at these ones that have a low level that are kind of high up the list, and then I'd look at stuff which is kind of like.
Well, it's funny they're all boomerangs because and Can I
Yes.
interject with
I didn't even
please-
notice that.
please do.
I didn't
my
even
big
notice
picture
that.
goal? And that's telling. Like,
Yeah.
it's telling what I like, because if you look at the like Meowser to Gold Chuck to Gold Petey, like to
Yeah,
King
for
Mario, like you could tell by Meowser. Like I went to 7 with him pretty quickly, and in the past coin box drivers, I was always like, okay, 6-2 is good for now. But
Yeah.
when Meowser was so good, I was like, okay, we got to go to the next level quicker,
Yeah.
or more quickly. And then I did the same with Chuck and Petey, and now I did it with King. So if there's like a big coin boxer, I will do that again probably. But with on the flip side, Boomerang, I'm like getting less and less interested. I just
fair
I don't
enough.
have time, and
You still got Blockhead and Pink Pinja down here. You know, I know.
yeah,
I know
Pinja I
that.
did halfway just to like, okay, I really want to go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
soon,
He's getting up there in age too, but he keeps getting
is.
buffs, so
yeah.
it's tough to say no to him. Ty Daisy is actually one of the names that I wrote down as a potential buff. You see her; she's almost the top. She is the top 6'2" high-end driver, not including the bronze, but that's a me, so it's calculated differently. So she is probably your best option here to upgrade, and we'll see that later. So I was gonna say, do you want to stick to the drivers now, and we'll get a little bit more in depth than drivers, or
Yeah.
do you want to go to the karts or gliders on the tier list?
Yeah, Les. One thing I was going to add, and then you tell us the answer, right? You're like you open up the back of the book, and there's the answer, right? And so that's what we want you to reveal to us here in a second or two. One thing I was going to mention is just when you're looking at this list, looking at this higher level overlap, and looking at some of the percentages. Some of the numbers that stick out to me, and it's kind of controversial. I would love to hear Sammy's opinion on this. Is King Mario. So King Mario, as you can see, he's got on that higher level overlap a very small number at 0.29, the lowest outside of the gold Mii suit. Obviously, he's at level 7 triple uncapped, but he's also one of the lower ones when it comes to level 7-3 triple unlocked. That stands out just in
That's good, right?
No, it's great from that number, but I was just curious to Antelope to kind of jump in, and is that because of which tracks he has? And then also, I noticed there's a couple others that stick out. One being Light Blue Shy Guy Explorer. So although his number is just a flat 2, if you look at the number as a percentage on the right, it's 53%. So right off the bat, it seems like at a lower level, he obviously because he's so new, he's probably has some paywall tracks. And although we always are kind of focused on newer items versus older items, could that be one that he invests into? So the ones I'm tossing out: Daisy Tie Dress, White Tanuki Mario, Light Blue Shy Guy Explorer, and then potentially even Rosalina Volendam. Those are kind of the ones that, just from my high-level overview, those are ones I have inclinations on, and then I would start to play around with numbers on that initial sheet. Ansel, which ones would you like to poke holes in first?
Let's look at Light Blue Shy Guy Explorer first, because he's actually one I also wrote down. It's like a super new driver, but the thing is, the way I look at, I don't pick drivers out and be like, hey, I mean, unless there's like a driver that's being used in ranked and I want to see how good it is for my account, I usually don't look at specific drivers first to decide what I want to upgrade. I look at I'll just go and show.
Yeah, go for it.
What I do is, when I look at the account, I pick a certain target. Hey, for this account, are you free to play? Are you gold pass only? Do you spend more than that? Like, how old is your account? Where are your levels? What is your average level of coverage? And then I find a target. Hey, what for me is like a finished item. Like for my free to play account, level 6 and triple cap is done. Like I don't go beyond that, just because for free to play account, resources are too scarce to do more than that. I do have a couple of level 7 high ends, but not really on purpose. For my main account, like it's 8 triple capped, like level, because I have the tickets because I spend. So I'm looking for stuff which is, but for a basic level, I want something that's like 7 and double capped. So what I did for Sammy's account is I looked at 2 things. I looked at 2 thresholds, basically. Drivers, for drivers, I looked up to every track where he doesn't have the equivalent of a level 7 double capped coin box driver. The score for that is 97.83. You can see that right here.
So you're trying to match that score basically.
Right.
Everything else.
Mario Circuit RT, and you can see I think it's Tuxedo or no, Rosalina Swimwear has it. And you've got our level 7 double cap. So what I'm gonna do here, so we've got 299 non-city tracks in the game. So I'm gonna untick all the boxes where we have a score higher than that, and then we can see
and this
how
is
many
using filters. There's a little filter button at the very top of the
where it says filter. Yeah, and you click on that. So out of so your account's really good. Out of those 299 tracks, you've got 210 of them. You've already got a level 7 double cap coin box driver or something better as an equivalent. So these are all the tracks where you don't have that, and you can still see there's like a lot of green here. Like it's not bad. You do have some things, and so then I look at, hey, which of these items gives me the most tracks? You see this bottom row here. This is just a simple summation of what's in there. So you see like pink, gold, peach, Daisy Holiday Cheer. We give you 9 tracks. She has 9 tracks if you would upgrade her to pass that level.
But she's 6'2", so you're saying she would need to go to...
She would need to go to 7 too. Or well, she's already passed on a couple, but Lucky 7 at 7.2 is like a little bit lower score than coin box. So you see here you've got some like really good options like Daisy. Daisy Sailor, I think.
Daisy
is that?
Sailor,
yeah.
Wow.
16 tracks, yeah. So, but I mean, okay, do you really want to, and then you've got some Mii's, like the Cat Mii racing suit, surprisingly, is like pretty good for your account. There's this other tab here, Dynamic Coverage Comparison, where you can get a list of those like sorted from highest to lowest, and this is at level 8 and this is at level 1, or if you have it at a higher level, what level that is. So I looked at this and you see immediately, so basically what I'm looking for is plus skill drivers here. So here's what I see White Tanuki Mario, I see Toad Astronaut, I see Daisy Tie Dress, I see Luigi Knight, I see PD Piranha Mii Racing Suit, and PD Piranha. And those are the 6 drivers where I'm like, okay, these are options for your account. These
you don't see Shy Guy Ninja.
No, you don't.
Interesting.
Yeah, exactly. So that means he's got a lot of tracks. He's down here. He's got 7 tracks. Oh no, that's Pink Shy Guy Ninja. Sorry.
That's what I meant. Sorry, that's what I meant. I meant Pinja.
Yeah.
So you were on my wavelength. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got some, but again, talking about efficiency for your account, I mean, like White Tanuki Mario is like a really good thing. Yeah. And then Toad Astronaut is, I know you hate the boomerang, but the 13 tracks, and he's like super new. He's still gonna get like tons of buffs, And Daisy Tie Dress, and Luigi Knight, but he's getting, so you have to kind of, so I basically wrote down, PD Piranha Mii Racing Suit, Tie Daisy, Luigi Knight. I also wrote down Light Blue Shy Guy Explorer because he's on 10, which isn't quite as much as the other ones, but he's also like super new, and you already have him like level 6. So
I kind of figured I would try to get him to 7.
Yeah. So then, okay, so once I do that, then I go and I drill down a little bit further and I say, okay, so this is what, this is where I can get upgrades, but like how good are these upgrades? Is it me like upgrading a track from a level 6 driver to level 7 driver, or is it something where I've just got like crap coverage? So then I do another drill down and I identify like another level where where do you have those really bad? Because you see a lot of green still here, and you've got like, okay, look, DK Summit T, you've got a score of 96 there. 96 is equivalent to Shy Guy Ninja, and you've got a level 7 double cap. That's like pretty okay still, you're not gonna cry if you have to use that in rank. So let's get like a little bit further down. So what I did was I went down to 84.17 or lower. So I'll untick all of those, and that is a Lucky 7 driver who is level 6 and double capped. So that's basically going to be either level 6 single caps, super drivers, or level 5 and lower. And you see here, it doesn't look as good. You only have 24 tracks, but these are the ones that you like really need to improve on.
Really need to improve on,
yeah. And so going back and
scroll over on that one, or go to this list.
Sure. Well, we can do that, but you can see where there's a lot like less green at the top. But let's go over to the list. You see Mii's, there's nothing here with more than like 4, and none of the plus skills. The Piranha PD Piranha Mii Racing Suit has 3. That's probably your best.
So why does Cat Suit go away in this drill down?
Yeah, well, he's got 4.
Okay.
But it just means that like the marginal upgrade you would get from upgrading the cat me racing suit is just you had a lot of already like level 6, level 7 stuff. So going back to the coverage comparison, you see here right at the top, Petey Piranha and Luigi Knight. I know you probably don't want to hear that. They will give you like 6 upgrades. Toadette Astronaut. And Tanuki, where's White Tanuki Mario? See that?
Wow.
The thing is, if you already have these drivers, like you don't see see Ty Daisy here. She's already level 6, right? She's already level 6 double cap coin boxer, so she's going to be like a higher level than and I don't White Tanuki Mario, I think he had already also at a high level or not.
Well, so that's
he's 6 double.
Yeah, he's 6 double, so he's not going to show up on this list either,
Yeah.
So there's like 2 things we're looking at, like which of my kind of medium drivers, like level 6, 7 drivers, do I want to bring up to a higher level? And which like low level drivers would I consider bringing up to like level 6? So that's kind of why I wrote down. You even got Santa Me Racing Suit, but this is only like 3 checks. So then I look at this and I usually use this and combined with what's in ranked that week to kind of help me make my decision.
Yeah, and that's part of my problem. I think is I'm always preaching it. It's like I try to get by so I can have as much liquid resources as possible in any given tour. So if I've been getting through all these ranks with White Tanuki Mario at 6 double. Yeah. And I'm like, every time he appears again, I'm like, oh, I should have taken him to 7 last tour, but I didn't need to. And then you go through the whole phase, and he never got there. But I have all these other tickets now I can use. Yeah. So it's this weird thing. It's like I kind of want to. Some people, I know people who just they'll look at their thing and they'll say, well, P Piranha, he needs to get there just for overall coverage. I'm just going to do it right now, even though he's not in ranked right now. It's not going to affect anything this tour, basically.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do it, and I've never been that type of player. But we all are kind of like say all the time, yeah, I think I'm trying to dial back my time playing Mario Kart Tour. That's what we always say. And at some point, we will have to do that. And, I don't know, Tears of the Kingdom is coming out. I've been telling all my friends when Zelda hits like in like 2 months, I seriously do want to spend time playing that game in less Mario Kart Tour. So maybe I do need to shift to ACR style investments so that I can play this game, get my dailies, get top 1000 every single tour without even trying.
Spend 15 minutes on a rank so you don't have to grind hard.
Yeah, I mean, how little can I do and still because ranked, I mean, the ranked rewards are so lame now. I mean,
yeah,
if I can really learn that 3rd and 4th is okay.
Yeah.
But because it's just such few rubies difference. I'm just so set in that old mindset of needing to win rank, but you really don't.
It's not bad. I mean, you want to compete and you want to win, regardless of the reward. It's just nice to you want to do your best.
One thing kind of go to full circle on that. One of the things that, Sam, you're saying, I don't have to invest in it because I can get this score with my current loadout, and that's perfect if you want to spend as much time on it. So it's like
it's time. Yeah,
it comes at a price, and so you're either saving time or you're saving resources. In your case, you've been very efficient saving your resources, but putting in time, and thankfully we got to benefit on the grind. But so for you, and I think that's what Anselm is showing, is that when he took out all of those tracks that White Tanuki Mario was going to be your best one on, in many cases 13 of those tracks, maybe he doesn't look as valuable on here, but all those 13 tracks are phenomenal for him. So maybe you do take him to level 7, and then when one of those 13 tracks comes back, and just pray that a new coin box driver doesn't take it over, where a me boost or whatever, and then you'll be able to use them again, and you'll be able to save time in that respect. So just to go full circle, just because you don't see him on this list, that's because he was so good. We removed all his tracks from this list.
Yeah, and the problem with the boomerang is the time thing, because I get it that boomerang is still a good skill even if you don't get a boombox. But let's face it, guys, when we seeing that action count target, and it's so high because of boombox being required for that target.
It's so true.
It's so hard. It's so like true. I see my competitors getting higher, and it's almost like you have to boombox, And that is such a time
if you
commitment.
did level 8 drivers, maybe you don't have to.
Yeah, maybe I take the boomerangs to level 8, so that is.
Yeah, so you don't have to. That's true. So you don't have to grind them.
But seven double triple is my like target that Antelov was talking about. Level 8 is something I literally still don't ever hardly think about. Like I took the gold suit to 8, and I took a comet to 8. And I took a daily select glider to 8. And then I took one other glider to 8 for ACR. But those 4 things, when I got my top 100, that super mushroom, I did that just for the top 100. But I don't ever consider level 8 for high ends.
Fair enough. Okay.
I just don't have enough tickets. I don't buy premium. I don't buy the premium challenges. So if I did, that would change things. But I don't.
Okay.
So one thing I didn't mention before is that the tracker kind of weights all tracks equally. So when we're like, let's put this back to the other level so we can see. So just from this, I would say, yeah, White Snooki Mario and Ty Daisy, getting those to level 7 would probably be a kind of priority. Or when you next use them in ranked, maybe spend the 5 tickets and get them up a level. Spend the 10 cap tickets.
But didn't Ty Daisy have a very high red overlap on the?
Yeah, but she's just got.
What does that mean?
Tracks. She has like 30 tracks. I mean, it's it's crazy.
Okay, you're saying she would still have enough uniques.
Okay, so what I'm showing you now, you see here, you've got these 133 tracks. Did I select something wrong here?
I think you left a couple unchecked, right?
Yeah. No, I think I had it right. Anyways, you see a lot of tracks. Oh no, there's the one level which I wanted to check. Yeah. You see a lot of tracks here, like Cheap Sheep Lagoon, 3DS Rainbow Road, Daisy Hills, Dino Jungle. Like there's you shouldn't invest. So when we see a number, this is how many upgrades it gets me. It's just telling you, hey, it's in this list, but it's not saying which things it gets you. So I did something else. I made a copy of your tracker and I filtered out on tracks, which are only from the last 15 tours. So going back to the Bowser tour, why did I choose that as a cutoff? Like it's too early in 2023 to say only 2023 tracks. It's too late to say 2022 and 2023 tracks, because then we're talking about tracks like still like Sky Garden and Wario Shipyard and
Do you not think those are still going to be common?
I still feel like those are pretty strong.
I don't, but they're not as paywalled anymore. There's not as much value.
Okay, there's just more released on them.
They're older tracks. I mean, and so the Bowser tours, when we started getting like 2 new non-city courses like almost every tour.
You're kind of saying tracks that haven't seen as many drivers hit them.
Just newer tracks that are paywall. I mean, I set the cutoff kind of arbitrarily, but like the 3 tours before that, I think the one before that was the Ocean Tour, that was Daisy Cruiser, which came back once and then we haven't seen it since. And then I think we had the Sky High Sunday Tour, which is a nitro, and we had Piranha Plant Tour, which was admittedly like a pretty great tour. And then I think before that there was another city tour. So I thought that was like a pretty, because then we had a lot of new tracks after that. So there's been 69 non-city tracks added to the game, not including the nitros. Since then, and so I filtered the list just to select those tracks. Now there isn't a way to do that easily. I had to go through one by one and select them by name. I think Mario Kart Ben's tracker has some additional filtering options where you can filter the track by age. Maybe I'm not sure. I have to check it out. That's something I should probably add. But anyways,
I do it. By the way, I do a lot. I use Turtle Dude's track optimizer for that. It's really easy to do on that too.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a really good tool as well. Definitely check that one out. So just using this 69 tracks, it's like, remember how StudFit, you and I did this on the rundown where we looked at like the most recent tracks and tried to cover them with like a couple of different cards and stuff. You can't really do that anymore. Nintendo's done a really good job of like spreading the coverage out. But at least we can look at where you're weak, because most of your weak points are going to be on these new tracks. So we'll do the same filtering levels here. We'll take everything from 97.83, the level 7 and double cap coin box driver and higher, and remove it. And so you've got 31 tracks that don't have that, so that's pretty good. You have more than half. So we look at the coverage again. You see Kitsune Luigi, like he's a non-skill driver, but he's absolutely got great coverage here. But I mean, you don't have an account where you're investing in non-plus skilled normal drivers. I don't think. And then Luigi Knight is up here again as well. He's like really good. And this is why I picked out Light Blue Shy Guy, because he's got 7 of these tracks. So that's especially since you don't like Toad Astronaut's up there as well. Who else we got here? Not Yukata Peach, she's not a plus skill.
Well, one that he doesn't own is Luigi Chef. I think some people have been asking if he's worth investing in, being triple bananas. He's third on that list.
And you got Daisy Tidress here at 5, so she still has some pretty good value. So I'm feeling pretty good about those picks. We can go back and let's look at the actual tracks that you get from, for example, Blue Shy Guy Explorer, the upgrades. Yeah. So removing all the blanks from the filter on his column, and you see what track. So this is what it gives you: Donut Plains 3, DS Mario Circuit, He's already best on 6 of those 7 tracks, right? Yep. So every upgrade you get him is going to be a bonus. And he's already level 6. So Yoshi Kangaroo is also level 6 and double capped on.
Yes, taking out those boomerang drivers.
Exactly. I mean, so you upgrade this guy to level 7, you get an upgrade on 7 tracks, and you remove boomerang from one of your things. Yeah. So that's maybe like something you want to consider. Let's look at Ty Daisy.
I mean, I wish she was in ranked right now. I'm like 30k behind. I would love to.
Yeah, sure. So she's 5 tracks that she's already best on all 5 tracks. Cheap Island 3RT. These are pretty tough paywall tracks. Peach Gardens, Donut Plains 1RT. So yeah, I mean, it's absolutely worth it. In addition to the fact that she added like quite a bit of tracks otherwise. And then I think Toad Astronaut. I think Toad Astronaut's going to be one of the drivers of 2023. Here, okay, so this is interesting. One of these is a level 8 unlock, so that's kind of unfortunate. But the other 5, you've got Bootleg R.
Level 6 unlock.
He's already the best on 2, Luigi Raceway RT and Shroom Ridge N. Level 6 is that. At level 8, I know is you have to kind of discount that. But these are all tracks where you have like a pretty weak score, except for Shroom Ridge T. That's an okay one. You've got, I think is it a Lucky 7 driver? No, White Tanuki Mario, level 6 double cap. So he's okay. I would still say Light Blue Shy Guy, Explorer, and Ty Daisy are probably your best. Considering that you are not interested in boomerang drivers as much.
I mean, look, I want to love. There were times when I loved boomboxing. I still, part of me does. Maybe taking, if Toad Astronaut's the driver of the year, I don't know if I can get through the whole year without ever just.
I think he's gonna be good. That's just my guess. I mean, here's the thing: like you need there is a trade-off between going for pure existing coverage and gambling on future coverage. Yeah. I've moved from a point where I'm not trying to get full coverage out of her at high level on my whole 300 non-city tracks anymore, right? Yeah. Because it's just not possible unless you're like a mega whale,
Yeah, it's not.
I'm more focused on picking the right items that are going to be good in the future, that are going to help me in ranked. So I want to pick new items. So that's why I think, like, for me, the number 1 driver to invest would be Light Blue Shy Guy Explorer, because he kind of ticks all the boxes. He's got a lot of tracks. It gives you a lot of upgrades on new paywall tracks where you don't have anything better at the moment. He's got a skill you like, and he's like super new, and he seems like he's in that a lot. I'm just putting my cards out there. I'm kind of predicting Light Blue Shy Guy Explorer and Toad Astronaut are going to be kind of like Rosalina Volendam and Pinja were last year for ranked. I think if you get those 2 drivers up to a high level, they will carry you pretty hard for the next couple of months.
One last point before I'd like to move on just to cards, just based on time, but let's look at the Miis, because one of the arguments that we hear about sometimes from people is Lucky 7 might be one of the first skills for non-Mii drivers that end up being eliminated as was move into Mii world. So just as we're kind of looking through those same filters, looking at those Miis, is there one that he could that could really help him cover those tracks you were looking at?
Yeah, so the question is, first of all, how many Mii suits do you have? The more Mii suits you have, the more interesting it's going to be to invest in Miis. And I think
it's going to get pretty interesting here, I'm sure, as time goes on.
if you have a high enough number of Miis, then non-plus skill Miis become interesting to invest in just based on their coverage. So, going back to the this sheet, we've got, we got the cheap Mii racing suit, which give you 6 tracks. Spike Mii racing suit. Spike Mii racing suit is super new. It only came out last tour. It already gives you 5 upgrades on these like super new tracks. This is really one to keep an eye on if you would consider investing in a driver where you have to grind for double coin. That's incredible that you would have such 5 high quality upgrades on like a really new item. I think the best plus skill one you have is the Sammy racing suit with 3 upgrades here. You got the yellow Mii racing suit also with 3 upgrades.
I like yellow. I mean, that's something I literally am trying to decide if I'm going to do tomorrow or not. So
yeah, I mean, yellow Mii is not quite as new. I think Sammy is a pretty good gamble because it's newer and it's also probably not going to show up again until next Christmas. So that's going to be one of those ones where if you didn't get it, and we can go and look back at the unfiltered view as well and see, hey, what do I have here on the for Mii's here? So like Cat Mii racing suit is back up here, but I mean if you look at the tracks, P Piranha Mii racing suit is here, cheap Mii racing suit is here again. So we've seen that one twice now. And something I like to do is look at all these lists and see if there's an item which is consistently high up, and then that usually tells me that's good. Here, Sammy racing suit, 9 upgrades. If you're looking at your whole inventory, I think Spike is going to be a little bit further down. Yeah, he's further down here. Spike Mii racing suit,
but 5. Filling very unique gaps for your account specifically.
Yeah, exactly. So this is not looking at the rankings or the what's in the top 10 or whatever. This is like what So okay, so these are some ideas for you as well. You can consider. You can definitely consider non-plus skill Miis.
Cool. And you think the blockhead is just still dead for me? Like,
I mean, the thing, it's not dead.
I mean, that's not dead.
I did write it down as like something you may want to consider investing in eventually. Like it does give you 7 upgrades on your account, and we can go look at what those tracks are.
It gives me 7 if I take it to what?
If you take it to level 7. Well, no, that's the thing because the scoring is different for me.
Well, I also think with everyone, whether it's the gold gold or question block, every single one of their tracks are going to be great tracks for you.
Plus the Mii boost is so
plus
clutch.
The Mii boost, plus the Mii cup, and yeah. So I just noticed like when you're, although it may overlap with other stuff, it's going to be that.
I know.
So at level 6 and single capped, it gives you. Yeah, so you would just have to take it to level 6 and single cap for it to be an upgrade on all 7 of those tracks because of the base points. I still think it's worth it just because, if you kind of slowly invest in it, it's going to be long term. It's the same for me in the gold suit. I haven't invested it yet. I haven't gotten around to it. I will eventually.
But I guess it's got to be week 2 of this tour, right? Week 2 of this tour, the double feature.
See. Yeah, maybe.
But no, I mean, this is good because like now I know that if any of these like 4 or 5 drivers that we're focusing on, whenever any of these are in ranked, I am good to go. Green light from Antelope, you know what I mean? And
the goal here is not to focus on one specific item to upgrade. It's more to see like, hey, these are the things you should look at, and when they show up in ranked, invest in them. Okay.
Yeah.
Should we move on to carts? Because
So as we move into carts, anything that stands out, Sammy, is kind of like top choices.
For carts?
You have like a top 3? No, for drivers. Just like some takeaways.
The yellow Mii suit is a question. I love how it looks. So there's like the pure like fun of that. It's in ranked right now, so I still don't know even if I take it to the 6 single capped, I don't know if I can even get top 3 in ranked. So I might just bail for now. But we'll see. Blockhead would be good to just have at 6. So just like every tour, whenever it's around, whenever it gets a boost, I just crush even harder that track. Top 1000 is even easier every time. I just don't have to try.
Yeah. 100%.
So I'm pretty interested in that.
Good. We'll move into carts. I'll get your opinion here, Sammy D. But just for sake of time, I'll be pretty quick.
Yeah.
I just like doing my little quick and dirty, just kind of looking at the levels, just skimming the top, just seeing what's going on. And what you just saw Antelope doing with looking at all those details, that's what I'm insinuating when you see all those ruby-colored stud fit logos on MKT Toolbox and on Same 78IT's resources. It's to nudge you into looking at some of these things, and so hopefully that helps you out, and hopefully you have better insight into the drivers. Moving into karts, just kind of taking a look at things. Obviously, one that stands out the biggest to me is the Cupid Zero. I mean, it's number 2 here.
I love that car.
It's level 6, and it beats out like
higher.
5 or 6 other level 7 karts.
Yeah,
so that just looks like, to me, the most glaring investment. I know you already love it too, so you probably don't need too much prodding there.
No, I'm in.
A couple others that stick out to me, just based on looking at the level and how high they are on this list. Armored Rider and Moo Moo Off-Roader. Those two stick out to me. Obviously, they pair really. The Armored Rider pairs really well with things, and Moo Moo Off-Roader has been a fan favorite already. And then a little lower, number 22 on the list is Blazing Eagle. So at level 4, it's actually really high up on your list, and it's actually, as we talked about it on the rundown, the number 1 kart in the game. One that I was surprised about, Jukebox Buggy and Gilded King. These are, 2 older karts. I'm curious to see if they kind of fill some gaps, and that's kind of why they're so much higher on the list. So those are some ones that I wanted to kind of pick out. I won't rehash some of the lower level 7 ones. And then a couple, because drivers are very different from karts and gliders. Drivers have the base points. We already know the top skills. But for karts, it's a lot harder. It's harder to interpret. So one of the questions I had is, does it make sense to buy the Pink Speeder at number 32 on your list? Not even owning it. It's your top unowned. Does it make sense to ever purchase that and take it up to level 4 or 5 compared to things that he doesn't own? And maybe, Ansel, you could also kind of play around with how do we analyze things that we don't own? With also the Coral Jet Cruiser, Ice Cream Minibus, and the Streetle, kind of on that similar list. All of them are number 32, number 38, 42, and 44. So all kind of in those mid 30s, low 40s. Is it worth purchasing? And that's all I wanted to add, and I'll let Sammy kind of add anything about some of the ones I just tossed out.
Yeah, the Coral, the Ice Cream, and the Streetle. I mean, I'm just shifting into large hitboxes only, basically. That's just what I want. So that's, whenever you see that, that's why. The Speeder is like just below my MVH, minimum viable hitbox, but maybe it's okay. But yeah, I didn't have like a ranked where I needed to buy it and invest in it, but it would be maybe the top unknown. Clearly, it is the top unknown. And then I am curious about, you guys know about my little Mark II collection project I've got going. I ended up buying all of them as soon as the Spotlight shop was open for business. I just I want to get every single Mark II. And I've taken a couple of them to 6.2, and I've taken 1 to 4. I have this fantasy of like having them all really high, which would take a lot of tickets, and I don't know if it would actually benefit me that much. But that's my kind of question to Antelef. Probably not. Okay. Well, if there's any Mark IIs you see, I'm very interested in them because I love them.
It's almost like a Mark II tax, right? Just kind of like the Me tax.
I kind of want to, yeah. But
cool, Antelef, we'll let you jump in from there.
So like again, looking at we'll go through the karts a lot more quickly because I'm going to do the exact same thing I did with drivers. We're going to pick out a kind of target level and find out what tracks are not at that target level. But looking at the tier list, yeah, those ones that have like a lower level relative to replacements, like Blazing Eagle, and then Dark Hop Kamek Zoomgrim somehow, Cream Cat Cruiser at level 3 and it's 31st, Pink Speeder not even owned and it's 32nd, Tropical Truck level 1. So those are maybe the kind of ones we want to keep in mind.
Sorry, stud.
It's okay.
So let's go over into the this one. So the level I picked out here is again this not quite level 7 and double capped, because level 8 and quadruple capped super is just a shade under that. So I also removed the tracks where you already have a level 8 and quad capped super. So that's everything which is 112 and higher. So the tracks that's going to leave behind are ones where you don't have a minimum of a level 8 and quad capped super, which is roughly equivalent to a level 7 double capped high end. So 140 tracks left, so you've got a bit more than half covered by that. Looking at the coverage again,
that freaking cheer.
Wow.
Oh wait, no. I was thinking of the Cheer Mellow. Remember last time you told me? Now it's the Cheer Ship.
Yeah, Cheer Mellow is not on here anymore. I don't think. I'm sure it's like way down.
They're all tiny carts.
All tiny carts. Armored Rider is like pretty solid for you. And the Flowery Badwagon is a good card, not that big though. Moo Moo Off-Roader is 17, so that's definitely like up there. I wrote down Moo Moo Off-Roader as one of your top cards to invest in. I also assumed you were not interested in small hitbox cards.
Yeah, I'm not.
So looking at the top here, there are a lot of small cards, so let's drill it down a little bit more, see what, so the next level I took was 74 or worse, and 74 is I think a level 4 and double capped. Yeah, so everything where you don't have a level 4 and double capped, where you have max level 4 and double capped, and it looks a little bit different here. Pink Speeder at the top, that is one that keeps popping up everywhere. Streetle is also number 2. I know Streetle is not as small as it seems, but it's still below your threshold. Lightning Streamliner is a good one. Flowery Badwagon is there again, so that's an interesting one because it's on both charts. Tropical Truck here with 4 upgrades, but it falls off pretty quickly because you don't have that many. There's only 27 tracks where you don't have that many, where you have that like low of coverage. So I would say let's add Pink Speeder to the list. Also one here, Camo Tanuki Kart. I don't know how you feel about the hitbox.
Ooh, I've been considering it. I don't have it.
That's one I really like.
And
it's one that showed up more often. And I think is the Blazing Eagle on here?
Blazing Eagle, I'm definitely like already committing. I mean, I'm in. I just took it to 4 to start.
It's got 3 upgrades here, so that's like solid. And then let's look at the other spring sheet. We leave the newer tracks filtered. So the 69 newer tracks from the Bowser Tour and newer. So we're gonna remove everything which doesn't have 112 or higher. We're gonna remove everything that doesn't over higher. So 45 tracks. So actually only 24 of those 69 tracks you have covered. Again, Moo Moo Off-Roader is right at the top here. So yeah, I would definitely be looking at that as a priority one. It's still like relatively new. You see a lot of the same cards. Pink Speeder's here with 9, Camo Tanuki Kart with 9 upgrades, and Blazing Eagle with 9. So these are actually the 4 cards I wrote down for your account, with the possibility of Streetle. Yeah, it's a lot more simple with cards and gliders, especially gliders, because it's like a bit more like a puzzle. You don't have to worry about this.
Well, I'm definitely gonna need your help on the gliders. But before we tab over to that, last question on carts. Crawly Kart. So an example of a old but amazing cart that I only took to 6.2 because that was my target back then. And it just kind of sat there, and like it's in ranked right now. I ran it on a simulation. It looked like it jumped way up if I go to 7.3. I love the Crawly Kart. It's huge. It's great. So should I do that?
So this is what we do when we want. So let's just look at the Crawly Kart.
Yeah, just look at the Crawly Kart.
Look at
13 tracks.
21 tracks and 13 where it's your best option.
Right.
And then let's see the other ones. So it'd immediately be 13 upgrades. And you can see these are all like pretty old tracks here, whatever. You've got here some ones that's level 7 triple capped. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 already level 7 and triple capped. So that was probably where you're gonna max out. So let's take that one off. And you still got 16 tracks here, so I would assume you would take this to level 7 and triple cap, probably, right? Yeah. So you'd get upgrades on all of these. The best one here. So it's you don't get like a massive upgrade, but it's already like level 6. I mean, it's probably worth it. If we look at if we go back to looking at overall what cards would be good for your account. For stuff that's not triple capped and level 7 or higher, there's going to be other cards that give you a lot more. So that's the thing, So like Ice Cream Minibus will give you 24 upgrades, and the Crawly Kart is way down here, 16 upgrades, which is solid. But look at all of these cards that would give you more upgrades, and on newer tracks, like Moo Moo Off-Roader. I would definitely invest in Moo Moo Off-Roader before I invest in Crawly Kart. Cupid's Arrow, again, you already have them on triple capped, Ramby Runner, Armored Rider, there's a lot of other.
That's good.
I'd focus on first. Shielded Speedster has 17 and it's newer. So Crawly Kart would be a decent upgrade on its own. But again, there's like I think other things that I would focus on.
Yeah.
Going back over to the other one with the new tracks only, and then looking at your really bad coverage. And so I think we're doing 74 or worse. So level stuff where you have max of level 4 and double caps. Only 17 tracks here, but this is a level 1. This is a level 2. You really need help on these tracks.
Yeah.
So what can help you out here? Pink Speeder again, is right at the top, and you see the next one is only 2 behind it. So I would really have to think about the
Camo's there. Camo's with 4 too.
Yeah. Again, this is another reason why I wrote down Camo.
Tropical.
Yeah, gold
I can check to see like if Pink Speeder and Camo share tracks, and kind of double check that before I get both of them.
You can do that as well. You can what you can do is put all of these back here. Go to Camo Tanuki cards. Where are you, Camo Tanuki cards? Did you buy? Yeah.
No, it's unowned.
It's okay, so it's here. So what you can do is unselect all of its tracks. I'll leave the level 8 one there, but so then you remove all the tracks for Camo Tanukis, and you say, hey, what do I have for my overlaps? And then I go look for Pink Speeder, which you're also not owning. I think it's this column here. Let's look at the bottom. Still 11 tracks of these 69. So and then if I put the Camo back there, it's 13, so they have 14, so they have 3 overlaps. So that's something. But again,
not bad though.
Yeah, I would say so. So those are the 4 cards I wrote down for you: Pink Speeder, Mumu Off-Roader, Camo Tanuki card, and the Blazing Eagle. Those would be my priority cards to focus on.
Alrighty, gliders.
Awesome, guys. Yeah, no, that was very helpful. So again, my quick and dirty. I always like to see which gliders you might have at a lower level that are a little higher on the list than others. So specifically, like some 6.2 gliders that were higher than some 7.2 gliders. So Lava Rocks, Starry Great Sail stood out as 2 of those. Both of those are level 6.
Wow.
Double unlocked. You have some others that like say Wonderful Diamond that you already have at 6.3, but like Lava Rocks at 6.2 is above that in that raw score. So I like those 2. Then I like looking at there are a couple even lower level items that were higher on the list. So Cream Toe Beam Balloons, Sakura Origami Glider, and Icy Mario Mustache. So Cream Toe Beam Balloons was number 13 on your list, even though it was level 4 single unlocked. Sakura Origami Glider, number 14 on your list, even though that was level 4 double unlocked. And then the Icy Mario Mustache, just level 2. No unlocks, and it's number 22 on your list. So those were 3 more in addition to those that stood out. And then I had four different items that I want to ask Anselm, is it worth buying? These were top of the list is Tropical Balloons, Gold, and then surprisingly the Gold Cloud Balloons, Black Star Shoot, and then Pink Magnifying Glass. These are all in the 45 to 54 range. Again, Tropical Balloons, Golden Cloud Balloons, Black Star Shoot, and then Pink Magnifying Glass.
And I am constantly tortured by like those 8 gliders you just mentioned. It's just like because they all overlap with each other, and I keep having like one in ranked, but then like it's such a cluster, and so I need to be told what to do. It's but what is it? It's
That's
not
why
my
we're
fault. Is that you're saying Nintendo is doing this on purpose?
Yeah.
No, Nintendo is really doing this on purpose.
Oh god, it drives me crazy. I know Cream Toe Bean, I think, is by far like just overall coverage. I looked, and that is the one for just numbers, right, Angela? Pretty much.
Actually, well, let's look. So I took the same target with gliders. So every track where you don't have a level 8 quad cap to super. So your glider coverage is, I think, significantly better than your kart coverage, which is like most people have that because they're so the gliders cover more. So 81 of the 299 tracks you don't have that level. So these are the ones where you could get upgrades by taking a glider to level 7 and double capped it. The Icy Mario's Mustache is right at the top.
Wow.
It's got 15. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Yellow Hard Hat Balloons number 2, and Cream Toe Beam Balloons number 3. So these are 3 of the ones that I wrote down for you. And the 4th one was Fuzzy Kite, and this was like actually pretty straightforward because if you go through, so you said the Gold Toe Beam Balloons and the Gold Cloud Balloons.
Just the Gold Cloud.
just the gold cloud, and what was the other one? Pink secure origami.
The secure origami glider,
Sakura.
starry great sail,
Also, yeah.
and lava rocks.
Yeah, they're all up here. They're all up here, and they're all like, yeah. I mean, these are all ones you would definitely want to consider investing in. So keep that in mind. We go down again to the same. I think this time I took 79 or worse because you didn't have 79.
Yeah, because I'm curious to kind of add a little challenge for you, Antelov, as we got to wrap up the episode. Is there one way to just invest in 2 of those 6 gliders and just cover them all, or is there some way for him to kind of just be as efficient as possible with so he doesn't have to invest in all 6, but just 2
that would cover the most?
Something like that, yeah.
You would want to find out where they would overlap the most on those tracks which are left over, and you can do that with the filtering just by filtering out the tracks of one and checking, hey, which one has the most. And the thing is, out of those tracks, you're probably not gonna get all of them. You're gonna get less than half of them.
Yeah, it's gonna be unsatisfying. I've run simulations on all of these.
Sure, you get my point.
But
it could be 3, it could be 4, but I think that's what everyone's kind of thinking about is how do I just dump maybe 8 tickets here, and then I'm so much better advanced in my account.
But it will help. If I just choose one of these, for example, like Sakura, I was gonna do that for rank before I got completely slaughtered. Now it looks like I can't even compete. But once I do that, then it takes a different shape. Then I do another one, it takes a different shape, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. So looking at the tracks where you have really low, and so this was I think 5 double capped or lower. Icy Mario's mustache is on top again, so this looks like it's really by
double. Those are the ones we just mentioned.
Yeah. So let's look at Icy Mario tracks just to see what you have there.
It's so funny because I was I don't like how that glider looks. I don't want to invest in it. But then it's so stupid because on 80% of tracks you don't even see the glider as you race.
Exactly.
There's it's literally a hidden stat on most tracks.
Yeah.
So it's got 28 non-city tracks, which is definitely S class for gliders. And you see here it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 where you've got triple cap level 7 or higher, so take those out and you've got 19 left. But you see there's so many tracks here where you've got only a level 2 glider or something. It brings your average up on these 19 on these tracks so much.
Let me ask you this, Antelov. 3 of those though are Sky High Sunday. Does that matter? Should he be thinking about things that way when it comes to nitro track versus non-nitro?
Yeah, I mean that's up to you, and that's again. So let's hop over to the other sheet and look, because I didn't put the nitros in here, and let's look at starting the same way. Let's see what we have. These are the 69 new tracks. Okay, so we got a new number 1 here. We've got the yellow hard hat balloon, and then we got Fuzzy Kite, which is the 4th one, which I didn't mention. But I think Fuzzy Kite's gonna be really good. Icy Mario's mustache is still up here. It's still it's got 7 upgrades for you on this restricted list. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of so gliders. I understand Sammy when he says I'm having a hard time deciding between all these gliders because there's a lot of things here. There's no clear number 1. So these both you don't own them, so it would maybe be worth it to just pick them up and stash them if they show up in the Spotlight shop. I don't know how you are on rubies, but they're only honored rubies.
Yeah, but can't I just pick them up when they're in ranked?
But yeah, obviously you don't need to pick them up now. For sure. I really like the yellow hard hat balloon. It was top of both of the other lists as well. Let's chill it down a little bit further here. Go the same thing, 74 and lower. So level 4 double capped and lower. Only 23 of those 69 tracks. So a third of those you don't have decent coverage on. Cream toe beam balloons is now at the top. Icy Mario's mustache, yellow hard hat balloon, Fuzzy Kite's here with 5 as well. So for me, looking at all of those 4 sets of items, those were really the 4 gliders which repeatedly popped up. Icy Mario's mustache, Fuzzy Kite, yellow hard hat balloon, and cream toe beam balloons. Those would be the ones that I'm like, hey, these are the ones that I'd wanna look at for my account. If we want to talk about items where you want to bring a higher level glider up further,
maybe the Goomba 8-bit will somehow get all of their tracks, and I can just do that.
It absolutely could be.
You're always waiting for that one item.
You never know.
Stuff, I know you got your multiplayer in a second.
Yeah, sorry, we're almost done here.
No worries.
So let's just look. So this is where you don't have a level 7 triple caps or higher. So this is a lot of tracks. Obviously, it's 157 out of 299. This is if you want to take something up. So Luigi's mustache would be the top one, but you don't have that one. So you see here on this column, you've got the level of the item. So that's going to go down to the first one where you have it a high level. 8-bit Bullet Bill, that would give you 17 upgrades. Dry Mouse Umbrella, that would give you 16 upgrades. But these are all like really old items. I don't really want to invest in really old items. I want to get some new items going. So here, the first one, Lava Rocks, 15 upgrades. Okay,
I'm glad to know that, because I've been really disappointed with Lava Rocks not really showing up in ranked for me at all, really, since I got it. And I took it to 6-2 immediately. I rarely ever do that. But maybe it's just I need to get it to 7 and then it's there.
I think so. I think. Well, it hasn't been in ranked a lot. I don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not a lot of gliders here where it's like a clear, hey, you should take this one up. And the Starry Great Sale is here as well.
Starry, I'm at like 3 of 5 towards 7, and it's in rank next week. So I think I'll probably go 7 next week.
Okay. Well, you know what we can do? We can put it to 7 in your sheet and then see.
Yeah, I mean it's his number 11 glider, as I was mentioning earlier. Surprisingly,
it's so good.
If you put it to 7, it becomes your number. Like still number 11. I think it's still number 11.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I would probably,
Interesting. Okay, I didn't expect that. No. So let's get rid of the starry tracks.
So if anyone's watching at home and you're wondering what we're pushing for all these filters and stuff, just reach out to one of us on the community in the comments. We'll be glad to help you out. I know we're moving through this pretty fast and there's a lot of clicking, but hopefully this video, as you start to see more of these episodes, will be helpful. But just feel free to reach out.
Antelev's good at like seeing the number, that column. I usually do what he's doing, but I just do it with levels.
With the levels. I mean, you can do that too, but it might
just see where I don't have. Yeah, then you're getting more detailed.
You might miss some stuff which is covered by supers. Get an upgrade. So this is with the Star Great Cell taken out. You got Icy Mario Mustache is way up here. Record setter. So what I usually do, a Fuzzy Kite 17. So that's considering how new Fuzzy Kite is. I think it's really a really good one.
And it's
Yellow Hard Hat Balloon as well.
Yeah, and it's less invested in those nitro tracks like the Icy's Mario Mustache had a lot of those.
It's a glorified Hanafuda. Let's call it what it is.
It is. I love it.
The lucky Hanafuda.
I wish Hanafudas were good because I love how they look. So I love the Fuzzy Kite. I'm a little bit biased, but I think it's going to be really good.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
All right. Well, thank you very much. What'd you think, Sammy? I mean, just what are some takeaways from gliders from this episode? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff. I feel like these are some of the investments I've already thought about, and so you're confirming that I'm on the right track. But hopefully for some other people, they're kind of like finding some interesting little connections to make as they're watching. But yeah, you guys have not encouraged my Mark II project, so that's okay.
I'm really biased towards new items in the current.
I know, and it's like, the question. Like another new cart is that Taiko drum that I love, but I looked at it and it has the bad start, and you also you gotta not overanalyze the bad start, right? Because
Blazing Eagle had a bad start.
Yeah, so there are a couple new items. I'm always waiting for those new items that could be the catch-all,
Yeah.
And then this is one thing I will say is that I asked the question at the end: which one's worth purchasing? The tropical balloons, gold, cloud balloons, black star shoot, pink magnifying glass. I actually think the pink magnifying glass stuck out as I was kind of keeping an eye on as you were going through those lists, and that seemed to be the higher of those 4.
I know, it keeps appearing.
So good.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that helps out. Hopefully that also helps out the viewers just watching Antelope and kind of getting a glimpse into the Antilev brain. But Sammy, thanks again for letting us play around with your account. There will be a link to a copy of this copy that you can that we'll lock up and you guys can have access to. That's a link in the description. Hopefully, as we have this video released before Sammy does his grind tomorrow, we wish you the best of luck. Hopefully, these investments will pan out for you. Hopefully, you at least get second place or at least third and ranked. I know it's a tough track ahead of you, but we wish you all the frenzy luck, man.
Thanks. I might take a true break week tomorrow and just go for a new high score all time or something weird. It's just one of those weeks.
Well, I'll tell you what, taking a break helps. Coming from personal experience. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you guys both for taking the time, and this was super fun. I could do this all day, but
yeah, my pleasure.
You guys, thanks, Antilev. Thank you, Sammy. Appreciate it. So until next time, may the friends of luck be with you.
Peace.
See you guys.